Bret Bielema's risking it all right now on social media. If you have not seen, and before I get to my statement, I do want to set this up. This isn't the first time that we've seen Bret do this. We know what happened in the bowl game with Shane Beamer, obviously kind of taunting him with the substitution deal. And then Bret's gone after Lane Kiffin, too, on social media. Seems like he's trying to kind of emulate him a little bit about Ole Miss getting in the playoff and why should Ole Miss get in if Illinois doesn't get in. But he's back at it again. Jim Harbaugh has put on social media a quote when Harbaugh was with the 49ers saying, if you're cheating, you're already losing. So Bret Bielema, quote tweeted and said, really? Then why did you leave? Was looking forward to playing you, but understand why you ran to the NFL. See you in the future and can't wait. Hashtag family. Hashtag ill. So my statement to you guys, Blaine, I'll go with you first.
All right.
Bret Bielema needs to quit trolling punter guys.
Punt. This is funny. This is hilarious. I mean, one, I respect a guy who wants to come out here and call out somebody else's bullshit. I'm fine with it. If you see it and you want to call it out, do it. But this is funny. This is America, right? I mean, we have the freedom to be a troll, and there's nothing funnier than a guy who's in a powerful position can go out and troll different people. We laugh at Lane Kiffin. We also make fun of Lane Kiffin in certain ways, but at the end of the day, it's all fun. It's all gags. I think this is hilarious. Bret Bielema is now the new troll of the Big Ten, and it fits him absolutely perfectly. Go back to against the South Carolina game. The amount of funny things this man does, it's to me, keep doing it, Bret. Keep doing it because not only are you doing it, you're winning football games. Hell, I mean, he took Illinois to 9 wins this year, 10 wins this year. I don't know when you're going to see Jim Harbaugh again. I don't think you're going to get an NFL job, to be honest with you. But let Bret be Bret. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Keep doing it, buddy.
Well, at least people are talking about Illinois. I will give them that. David Cohn, Bret Bielema needs to quit trolling punter go.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go for that one. Bret Bielema needs to do a little less trolling and a little more focusing on Illinois and maybe get them into the Big Ten championship game. And also getting compared to Lane Kiffin, that's no sort of big win in life, okay? Bret Bielema couldn't beat Jim Harbaugh. And now all of a sudden we're questioning why would he leave to go coach an NFL team where he's the 4th highest paid coach in the entire sport of football. He makes $16 million a year. Why would you question someone leaving for getting a promotion? Makes absolutely no sense to me. And look, the NCAA, they had their shot, right? They wanted to penalize Michigan last year in the middle of the season instead of waiting it out, force the Big Ten, and they went 15-0. So you had your shot, you blew your shot, and now Bret Bielema wants to try and troll Jim Harbaugh. To you talking about he's not going to get an NFL job, I think his best chance is if Jim Harbaugh hires him as an offensive analyst, on his staff, because you're not going to be facing him again. And if you do, you're probably going to catch another L because you hadn't beaten the guy.
I agree with that. To me, it's not as much about the message. It's more about just what he's doing. Right, I'm fine with Bret Bielema becoming a troll.
You're the Lane Kiffin of the Big Ten. That's no positive
I mean, yeah,
thing.
I mean, it could be worse.
That's no good thing. Congratulations.
It could be worse.
Congrats, you went 9-3.
Lane Kiffin's won a lot of football games.
Has he? Which one?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, you beat Georgia once. Congratulations. This would be like Lane Kiffin saying Nick Saban ran away from the SEC so he didn't have to lose.
Well, I'm glad the standard now for Illinois to be taken serious is winning a Big Ten championship. Because hell, before this, it was winning 8 games.
Well, is that? I mean,
is it? What program is like I'm flexing on people like winning?
Well, do we think this is just a PR stunt to get eyes on Illinois? I mean, I'm not saying you got to agree.
You know what? The best way to do that is do what Kirk Cignetti did with Indiana. You want some eyeballs on you? How about you go do what Cignetti did?
Okay. He won 9.
Huh?
I mean, look, Bret won 9, beat a good South Carolina team.
Look, I like Coach Bielema. I don't think he's a terrible coach, but you're talking trash to a guy who you didn't beat.
It's different. Like,
why he went to go make 16
who runs to the NFL?
Yeah, I don't know if running to the NFL is a great way to put it.
I don't get it.
All right, guys, this next one, I am just absolutely jazzed for this next one. I don't know if you've heard, but the Saints job, Mike McCarthy said no. Plenty of other candidates said no, the offensive coordinator from the Redskins, but I know a perfect guy who might be a fit for this job, has a great set of hair on him. You know, we love him on this show. So, David, I'm going to start with you. The Saints, I can't get over looking at that picture. The Saints should hire Matt Moscona as their new head coach. Punt or go?
And I have to punt or go for this. As much as I want to go for this, I'm going to say punt. I know the passion would be there. I don't think the Saints have fallen into such despair that Matt Moscona is the leading candidate, mostly because I don't think Matt would draft any Alabama or Georgia players. That's mostly like he wouldn't implement the strategy that the Philadelphia Eagles have implemented to be able to reach the Super Bowl. Other than that, he'd probably go get all the best LSU players, and they would certainly be an improvement, but I still have to punt.
Jake, our boy, Matt Moscone, the new head coach of the Saints. You punting or going?
I'm just seeing him with hair. It's not a bad look.
It's
not a bad look.
He's got a...
Look, I'm going on this. All right? Nobody wants this job. Nobody wants it. You know who would take it? Somebody that loves the Saints. Somebody that needs the Saints. Somebody that can really just tap in to what the Saints need. Because, again, nobody else with any connection. They're, like you said, Mike McCarthy said no. Cliff Kingsbury said no. Matt Moscone could save the Saints. Now, he'd have to hire a great staff around him. He would. But I think Matt can do that. And, again, you're exactly right, David. There's no chance in hell an Alabama player is getting drafted. Georgia, maybe. But I think Matt could really rally the troops. Who gets you more fired up than one of your own, right? Ascending to the... It's a real King Arthur situation. Maybe Moscone is the guy that pulls the sword out of the stone, and everybody starts looking at him. And he don't even have to travel that far. He could still talk about LSU. But just think about that. The Saints, they got turned down by all these big names, former and current NFL coaches, whatever. But here comes Matt Moscone, straight out of the podcast booth, into the coaching booth, getting them right and ready. I approve this message. Matt Moscone to the Saints.
Who would be his hires?
You're looking at him.
Who would be his hires?
You're looking at him right here.
Who else?
Probably just us.
T-Bob?
T-Bob would be there.
T-Bob's got to be.
T-Bob would be there, 100%. All right, we got John Middlecoff coming up here in a minute, but let's get to the chat and let's get to the poll.
All right, let's go to a $3 donation from God's Green. He says, fellas, Matt Moscone, wouldn't you be able to fix that cap situation over at the Saints? I don't know a person who can fix it.
If anybody could, they got to love the Saints. You got to love them. Maybe you do what, speaking of the Eagles of Vince Papale, hey, maybe, you know what Aldo Raines said about getting to the Grand Ole Opry. How you get there? Practice. Let's hold an open tryout. There's people that can run in New Orleans. They do it from the cops all the time.
All right, let's go to a $5 donation from the Pro. He says, guys, you definitely know Jalen Milroe will get reached on in the first round. The real question is, does he get taken early or does he get taken later in the first round?
Well, what do you consider? If we just consider the whole first round a reach, then it doesn't matter to me if it's early or if it's late. But if he keeps dropping like this, I would be surprised even if it's late. I mean, we've seen this. How many times have we seen this happen? Hell, I brought up Aaron Rodgers. We saw it happen to Will Levis. I mean, you go and have a bad showing at these things. That you talk about recency bias and leaving a bad taste, but maybe a spot opens up, he's still there, and a team that wanted to take him early but didn't like him says, hey, we'll take a chance in this spot. It kind of opened up. We'll see.
Let's go to a $5 donation from Lane P. Appreciate it, Lane. Says, if you don't take your weight serious, I can't take you serious. Bret Bielema, get off my timeline.
Is Bret Bielema, like, does it fit? Like him being like the funny troll guy. Like with Lane, it fits. Because Lane, you're like, all right, that dude can troll. With Bret, I don't know. I just feel like Bret should be kind of like a hard-ass, like, you know, lineman, or actually played linebacker at Iowa, I think. It's just a weird fit.
He could probably pull it off, but it's just weird to go after a guy who was...
Yeah, you got to pick your spot.
Or even the substitution penalty with Shane Beamer. It's like one of your players was hurt over there. That was kind of
you got to pick your spots.
Let's go to Dire Need. What's up? It says, guys, if they're an NFL organization that's going to reach on anybody, I promise you it will be the Falcons. I would not be surprised if the Falcons took Jalen Milroe in the
There's no way. There's no way. Look, the Michael Penix thing's looking better and better by the day. I'll give him credit on that. There is no way on God's green earth that the Falcons are going to take Jalen Milroe unless it's like super late. Like super late. They don't need those problems. But now, I'm not letting the Falcons off the hook by any stretch of the imagination. Hey, appreciate you guys being here. If you do not mind, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and keep sharing the show.